friends, it's Miss Cheryl at the North Baltimore Public Library, and I thought this would be a great time to share some new books in the children's room. So I have a whole shelf full of brand new books. They've never been read, they've never been checked out, that are either ready to be checked out right away or will be very soon. So all you need to do, if you see a book that you might like to read, give us a call or put it on hold in the catalog, and we'll let you know when it's ready for you. It may be ready tomorrow, you never know. The first book is by one of my very favorite illustrators. He is a 3-time Caldecott winner. It's David Wiesner, and his new book is called Robo Baby. Let me read the description to you. Welcome to Robo Baby, #1 supplier of babies. Just place your order and baby will arrive in a custom container with easy-to-follow assembly instructions. For a bundle of joy who is state-of-the-art and guaranteed adorable, for the best in robot babies, call Robo Baby. I have a feeling there might be a trick to this. On the back it says, meet the family. Can you imagine a family of robots? That would be interesting. There's another new picture book called I Am Everything Good. It is by Derek Barnes and Gordon C. James. Just listen to the beginning of this. Let's hear it for everything that makes you, you. The amazing, awesome, inspiring kid that you are. Your curiosity and creativity, your bravery and kindness, your sense of humor and fun, your ability to get up again when you get knocked down, your way of helping others. Yeah, you are all that and more. You are every good thing that makes the world go round. So go ahead and show us your magnificence. All the things that make you, you. Sounds cool. Now this one is a little bit different. It's by David Shannon. Yes, the No David author. And David Goes to School and Duck on a Bike and all of those silly books. This one is called Mr. Nogan Body and the Childish Child. Looks like Mr. Nogan Body is babysitting somebody. Do you think it's going to go well? I don't know. You'll have to read this book to find out. Now, this one is a good for football fans. It's called Huddle Up Cuddle Up, and it's by Bethany Hedgestis and illustrated by Mike Deese. It's about a football-loving family and how they get ready for bed at night. Is your family a football-loving family? There are a lot of families that are out there. Now this one is a funny picture book. It's called Gerple and Preen, a broken crayon cosmic adventure. Looks like they've got their colors mixed up a bit. What do you think? It's by Linda Sue Park and illustrated by Debbie Ridpath Owie. Looks like a fun one. Ooh, buzz, zap, crash. Gerple and Preen are in a big mess. How can they complete their mission with all this junk? Or will they find what they need inside a bunch of broken crayons? You never know. Speaking of crayons, I have a new Pete the Cat book. Yes, Pete the Cat, Crayons Rock. This looks like a fun one. Looks like Pete's in a new band with a bunch of crayons. And it looks on the back like he's creating a lot of good pictures. I love that Pete. And if you're a Pete fan, you might like another of his new books. It's Pete the Cat, Falling for Autumn, my favorite season. It's the first day of autumn, and Pete the Cat isn't ready for the change of season until he discovers all the wonderful things about autumn, from pumpkin pie to corn mazes, hay rides, and apple picking. Pete enjoys the different delights that autumn brings. He realizes change may not be that bad after all, especially if you experience it with family and friends. It does look like Pete's having a good time on the back, doesn't it? I think he's going to love fall once he learns about it. And another favorite character has a new book, Curious George. In this one, Curious George learns how to vote. And this is, in fact, an election year, so we'll be talking a lot about voting and elections this year. In fact, speaking of elections, there's a new book by Mark Brown it's illustrated by Mark Brown, but it's written by his wife, Lori Krasny Brown. They do the dinosaur series together. And Mark Brown, you probably know for all of the Arthur books that are awfully fun. So in this one, they talk about democracy for dinosaurs. It's a guide for young citizens. I have a feeling they'll talk about elections and voting and all kinds of great things for this year. Speaking of nonfiction books, I have one of my favorite authors and illustrating teams. This book is called What Do You Do If You Work at the Zoo? And it's by Steve Jenkins and Robin Page. As I said, he is one of my favorite authors or illustrators, and she's one of my favorite authors. And together, they teamed up to write a book about what to do if you work at the zoo. Now, when I was younger, I always dreamed of working at the zoo. Would you like to work at the zoo? What do you do if you work at the zoo? Would you like to work with wild animals like that? I think that I would. Let me see. I'll find. Ooh. You might give an elephant a pedicure. Or you might brush a hippo's teeth. Sounds interesting, huh? So there's a lot of interesting things you might do if you work at the zoo. So you might like to take a look at that one. This book reminded me of Miss Becky. This book is called Emergency Monster Squad. It's by Dave Horowitz, and it's actually about EMS workers if there was a monster version squad. Now, Miss Becky and her husband both also work with the EMS. So I have a feeling I will have to share this book with her. Emergency Monster Squad. Everyone knows who the police are. Everyone knows what firefighters do. But do you know what EMS is? EMS stands for Emergency Medical Services. And here's Emergency Monster Squad. Do you think they take care of monsters when they call 911? I have a feeling that they do. And if you're doing beginning to read books, I have a whole stack of new books you might like to take a look at. There's School of Fish Testing the Waters. It's a ready-to-read book. Or for Otto, do you know Otto the Robot? It's from the Adventures of Otto. He has a new book too. There's, I have a feeling I really am going to like this one. Let's Go to the Library with the Peanuts Gang. Or, if you love books, you could be, what could you be if you love books? Something to think about. Or, this looks funny, Interrupting Cow. Or maybe you're a Barbie fan. How about Barbie Princess Adventure? Those are all step into reading or ready to read books, so come take a look at those. Now this one is by one of my favorite illustrators. He happens to write the Fly Guy books. His name is Ted Arnold. I've even had a chance to meet him years and years ago. But he has another series that's like a short graphic novel, and they're called Noodleheads. So there's a new one in the series called Noodleheads Lucky Day. Let me show you what it looks like inside. Yeah, it's just like a short graphic novel. So you might like to take a look at this one. Now, let's move on to some chapter books. Do you like Judy Moody? Do you like her brother Stink? Stink has a new book called Stink and the Hairy Scary Spider. It's by Megan McDonald and illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds. Along came a spider that wrapped Stink in a cocoon of doom. Ooh, that sounds interesting. So you might like to take a look at this book. There's another popular series called Stick Dog. This fall, Stick Dog meets his match. And it's by Tom Watson, of course. Another popular series and a graphic novel is Big Nate. The new one is called The Gerbil Ate My Homework. Oh my goodness. Now, if you like graphic novels, chances are you love Dave Pilkey. He's updated an old classic called Captain Underpants and the Revolting Revenge of the Radioactive Robo-Boxers. Oh my, the 10th epic novel. So that would be a good one to take a look at. It is now in full color, of course. He also has another popular series called, oops, there go my books, Dogman. And the newest book is Dogman, Grime and Punishment. This one is very popular, so you might have to put your name on a waiting list for this one. Do you like Dogman? He is kind of silly. And Geronimo Stilton has a new book. It's called The Battle for Crystal Cave, the 13th adventure in the Kingdom of Fantasy. Geronimo Stilton also has a reporter series, which is like a short graphic novel, sort of like Noodleheads, actually. And this one is called Barry the Mustache. Speaking of graphic novels, there's a new Phoebe and Her Unicorn adventure. This one is called Virtual Unicorn Explorers. Looks like they're using virtual reality goggles. You know, we had those at the library sometime. We'll have to get them again, and they're awfully fun to try. You can go on your own adventure with them. Speaking of chapter books, if you love paperbacks, you might have read one of the I Survived paperbacks. There's a brand new one called The California Wildfires 2018. This one wasn't very long ago, just a few years ago. But it might be an interesting one to read. The deadliest fire season in 100 years. Josh and his mom are escaping a crisis back home when they fly across the country to stay with their cousins in California. Then, one day, the cousins find themselves in a path of fast-moving firestorm, a superheated monster that will soon destroy millions of acres of wilderness and possibly much more. Josh needs to face the family crisis burning him up inside, but first, he and Holly have to survive the flames blazing all around them. If you like survival books, you might like to give that one a try. Sharon Creech also has a new chapter book called One Time. Let me read this first part. Gina Philomena has been told she has an overactive imagination. With her bright clothing and artistic spirit, she's always felt different from the other kids in her class. That is, until she meets her new neighbor, a mysterious boy named Antonio, with a wide, welcoming smile. Add in a creative new teacher, Miss Lightstone, and a world of possibilities open up for Gina, Antonio, and their classmates. With the help of Antonio and Miss Lightstone, will Gina find the answers to her question, who am I, and who do I want to be? Sounds like a good story to me. So that's called One Time. Now I have another chapter book that is a little bit of a seasonal book. It's called The Puppets, Payback, and Other Chilling Tales. It's by Mary Downing Hahn. She writes some of those kind of spooky tales. I hoped I was dreaming, for if I were awake, I was face to face with a ghost. Pulling the sheet over my head, I lay still. The next time I opened my eyes, the ghost would be gone. Nothing happened. No one moaned. No cold hand touched me. The dream was over. Slowly, I lowered the sheet. She was still there, a pale, motionless form at the foot of my bed. What do you want? I whispered. If you want a scary story, maybe this is the one for you. And speaking of scary stories, the holidays are coming up soon, and the first holiday that's coming next is Halloween. And I have this cool National Geographic kids book, Weird But True Halloween. 300 spooky facts to scare you silly. Would you like to hear one? I'm just going to flip open the book and see what I find. Ooh. For Halloween, M&M's introduced cookies and scream flavored candy. I wouldn't mind trying that. Let's see if there's another good one. Ooh, in 1699, a man who bought 2 ancient Egyptian mummies was reportedly haunted by 2 ghosts. Once he got rid of the mummies, the ghosts reportedly disappeared. Oh, here's a good one about a pumpkin. I always love pumpkin things. Halfway through their growing season, giant pumpkins can increase by 60 pounds a day. It can take a giant pumpkin more than 100 days to reach its full size. Wow, that is a giant pumpkin, if I do say so. And of course, Halloween is not the last holiday of the year. We're even starting to get in some Christmas stories. If you like Narwhal, you might like this addition to his series by Ben Clanton. It's called Happy Narwhal Days. Nope, I said it wrong. Happy Narwhal Holidays. Narwhal Days? Something like that. At any rate, it looks like a happy book. 'Tis the season, the freezing season, brr, when the merry myrmicorn comes. The murmury what-a-corn? Well, if you like it, you probably would like to read this graphic novel too. And those are all the new books I'm going to share with you today. So come to the library, give us a call, go on to our catalog and put some things on hold. But remember, you don't have to come in and physically get books. You can also borrow digital books. Everybody from school gets their very own e-card so that you can borrow books and audiobooks and all kinds of magazines. So you can always do that, even if you can't physically come to the library. But now we are open Monday through Friday from 10 to 6, so you can come in and give us a visit. Just remember to wear your mask. I took mine off so you would be able to see me and understand me for this video. And come in and take a look. If you would like to borrow one of these books, put it on hold, give us a call, put it on hold, or put it on hold in the catalog, and come on in and take a look. And someone suggested that I should show you where to find some new books. So I'm going to actually move my camera around the library to show you where you might like to find some new books. Of course, you know, if you're looking for a paperback, you need to go back to the paperback spinner at the back of the room. But as for new books, you will probably need to go over to our new book spinner. So this is where you'll find picture books and new readers and new nonfiction. And of course, we also put some of our favorite new books just on top of the shelf. Our new chapter books will be on the second and third shelves. So there's some new books right there. And if you haven't been here for a while, we've been moving things around. We have some neat new carpets from the school. Here's our new Read Across America rug. Thank you to Mrs. Dedimore's class for sharing that with us. And we have some of our leveled readers over here in these new displays. So it goes from A all the way through N, and we moved our Magic Treehouse books over here too. So we have some new room. We have some study zones. If you'd like to come in and study at the library, you can use some of our tables. Or of course we have the computers at the back. And I think that's about it for now. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope that you can come to the library and visit us and maybe check out some new books. And if you have any questions, come in, give me a call, or send me an email. I'd be happy to hear from you. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.